All right, everybody, we're here with a special guest, our
Hello.
lovely friend Misu here, who is going to be opening the first part of our next shipment. Lovely box, single box. So he doesn't know what's in it. There's not really much in it, but I wanted him to open this because I thought he would have some fun. So go ahead, cut it on out.
I have no clue what I'm doing here, but we're gonna have some fun. We're missing a cutting tool, so we'll have to make do with an Allen wrench. Hopefully, we won't damage anything.
You won't damage anything. I don't know where.
last words.
I've got 3 knives in the warehouse, and I don't know where they ended up. But we decided to do it here. Just well, there's 1 or 2 things in here that I would like to kind of use, or are easier to test here. So just for fun, I'm gonna start it out here. So, any thoughts what this might be based on the shape of the box? Given
Posters.
there is 5 items in there, so
Posters.
it is. Not posters, but you're along the right track. There's
Art
a reason
pops.
it's shaped this way.
Art pops. Well, we are using it, so there's probably something that's electronic in here.
That's a good guess. That's the part of the reason I mentioned it.
Okay. Time
But
for
now,
the
as
mystery
for
reveal.
what they are,
It's
bubble wrap.
bubble wrap.
This bubble wrap's great. By the way, I'm sure you've seen it in the.
Is. Actually, it's
Oh no,
really
you've seen it in
strong.
the videos, but like it's really good bubble wrap, and they use it with everything. They also, you know, there's always a lot of like wasted space, but they pack really well. And I don't pay for any extra processing or anything like that, so I'm really happy with how things come out.
So, first things first. VHS.
So this is a Hoshi no Kirby tape from the Super Famicom era. We're gonna watch this at home tonight or tomorrow. But it was cute. It came up in related searches, and
You know, Kirby
it was
would like
cute
this.
and cheap. So yes, Kirby would like that. He'd eat it right up.
Okay, next thing.
All right, what else?
We have what appears to be chips.
So these are for EMU's readers. Another convenient reason to bring this box because they are going straight into these.
Fisco.
They did not. They took out all the readers, so I had to fix them up. I normally have a good stock of these in, but I've used them all. Like people keep asking for them and whatnot. So anyway, that's all I was able to get right now. They're a little more expensive, but I had to get them over here.
More card readers, I think. No,
So
this is a card reader and a key chip.
That's a Taito Type X3 hard drive and key chip.
Excellent.
And I got that because I have a Taito Type X3 that is missing the hard drive tray and the dongle. And this was cheap. This was like 1,500 yen. And it's not that I can use it on there. It's just to complete it so that it looks nice after we've, turned it into a multi.
Ironically, I just throw that junk into a box on my multi.
Yeah, well, to make it look nice.
We have PCB.
So this PCB, I had to do a lookup on it. I don't know if it works. Is a Dharma Dojo. Is Namco System 21? I don't remember. It was I think it was one of the early Namco System boards, or something. I could be wrong. Whatever it was an unlisted random PCB. It happened to be with something I was picking up from a different seller, and it was cheap. Under $100. So
I have definitely done that.
have fun with that. Dharma Dojo is an interesting puzzle game. Oh, don't worry. That's not as loot as you might think it is.
We have, this is a really expensive PCB, most likely.
Yes, this is a really expensive PCB,
have
and I'm
a
sure you are going to
cave.
want to plug it in or borrow it. So this was one of the reasons I thought you might like to open the box.
I'm trying to guess.
You will. I mean, if you know anything about naming, you might be able to guess what it is from
thing
that.
I can't read.
Yeah, well, you can tear the art. You can tear it a little bit if you want to see it.
It's cave. It's expensive. I play it.
So this is a Futari 1.5.
Oh, nice.
Which I think I mentioned earlier I wanted to do a 2 or 3 JAMA switcher. The reason is to put Mushi, Futari, and Black Label
All in one.
on one cab. So anyway, that was a little expensive and I shouldn't have bought it, but I did.
Don't worry. I bought a Mochi Mochi pork recently. That was not a mistake, but I should not have bought it.
Yeah, I should not be. I gotcha.
We have a double board.
So the other one I forgot what it was. This is one of the Namco system boards. I forgot which one. But this is Tenkamori Shooting, which I really want to plug in and mess around with because it's a bit more of an obscure shooting game. Have you heard of it? It's a shmup.
Okay. It's got a gem edge and like the old.
Yeah, so
old
this
edge.
this is actually Namco's kick harness. So you would see
okay.
that like on Tekken Tag that uses like button 4 and 5 and whatnot. They have a weird kick harness for that.
Interesting. I've never worked with Namco boards.
So
Makes sense.
we'll probably mess around with those when we have some time. We've got a couple. I've got 2 last year. So yeah, this was
Adorbs.
bless our good friend Cammy who sent me the link to this. I bought it immediately because I am missing some of the small ones. I believe both of these are, yeah, they have the elastic band. There's actually a small one that has like a keychain, like a metal keychain. And then this also came with
so
these.
Cute.
I know, and I don't have these either. I haven't seen these before. They're like little wallets or bags or something, or like a glasses case or.
I officially hate
anyway,
you, by the way.
Oh.
I will hunt for my own.
Well, I mean, actually, now that I think about it, look at it. No, those are different.
Yeah,
Those are both different. So there's 5 each of each of them. God, now I have more to look for. That's awful.
Same. The problem is you and
Shit.
I compete for the same damn plushies.
Shit. Okay, now this. We'll open it all the way up. And again, like I said, this is not as lewd as you think it is.
He says that, but I see
Look,
legs.
I don't put my videos as acceptable for kids because I don't want to deal with COPA. But
that's suspicious right there.
anyway, no, this is the Casper body pillow from Death Smiles. It's the official one. It was, well, hopefully not too used, but it was used. So
we can take the black light to it.
the one that we couldn't find.
Minor
Anyway,
details.
it was. I think it was cheap. It ended up for around $40, and
Jesus.
it's one of the cave ones that I don't have. I have the Reiko, the Sakura, and the one from Espelita 2 already. So
If you
I
ever
picked
see
that up.
extras, please send me links.
Actually, now that I think about it, I think. Okay, no, they're not in there. There's some Pokemon cards I have coming in. I think they were from that same seller. So
And we have
anyway,
poster, I
so
assume?
the last one here. This is a
a
tapestry.
standee.
This is a
Tapestry.
standee. It's specifically, I got it for the stand itself. I think I already have the tapestry, so I might give this one to a friend. But I bought it for the stand because I need stands to put my banners out at shows. I've been using those. So if you want to open it, you can. It might be a little bit harder without a knife for this one,
Also,
but
don't remember where I put down that.
it's in. You put it in the box. It's right here. Well, it's interesting it's cut all the way. Normally, they just open the top here. I don't see these up anymore. So, I mean, like, they stopped making standees a long time ago, but you used to be able to buy them with this all the time. And I think people didn't like getting them with them because then they'd have to ship them. I was happy to get the frames, or the stands. And at some point, I sold all my stands when I was poor and I was living off this stuff. And I never expected to be running a business and making my own banners and wanting to use the stand. So, here we are now. But at any rate, this one is... What is that?
Find out. It's tubing. Oh.
So I need to check and see if I actually have this one or not. I may or may not. I've sold all my tapestries, so I do really like the Aroha one. And if I don't, honestly, when I have space, I'll probably set this up with my blue cab because my blue cab is actually shipped and is still an Aroha. So that's kind of cool. And if you look here, one of the reasons I did this here is here you have the Aroha cab, which is the orange color of the SD cabs, and there's an orange cab. So one of the things that I thought about doing is I really like my light blue, but I might actually downgrade this back to Aroha and leave this as an actual, like, fully Aroha'd cab. Just an idea. Don't know, but I'd have the stand and the whole thing. Anyway. That's it for this half. I'm going to be getting a lot more boxes in hopefully a couple days. If this one didn't actually get stopped by customs like a lot of them sometimes do. I think it's because the value of this was actually just under, what they expect. But at the same time, there was only, 6 items in there. So I don't know what it is that makes them stop these things. But anyway, hopefully in the next week or so, I'll get the other half, and I'll open that. I don't know if we'll have a special guest for that or not, but we'll do that. All right, well, we'll be back in, well, for you in just a second.
Have a good.
Hi everybody, we're back. We've got the last of the boxes out of this batch to open up now. Again, this was actually a second batch because the first batch was, or rather both batches were near the 250,000 yen or $2,500 limit that, shipments are at before they start, putting it into a different classification. So anyway, these three are what make up the other half of that. I'm gonna start with this one down here on the floor so I can kick it out of the way. Let me get this up. And as you can see, all three of them are large and oddly shaped in their own ways. So hopefully you can expect some interesting things in here. And I hope you are just as excited as I am to get into these. I know you're not, but regardless, there's some neat stuff in here, so I am personally quite excited. I don't remember everything that's in here, but there's 2 or 3 items that are particularly of note this time around. I'm not sure which boxes they'll be in. Again, I mentioned before, these are kind of like beat up, and it's because I think these couldn't get filled as well as others, just because there's some weird stuff in them. So first up, it looks like we've got the PCBs that I ordered on this run are here. We're not going to look at these too deeply. Here's a Theater Rhythm Type X3. Nothing special, we're just setting that aside. I've been starting to pick up those specifically, one, because they're really cheap right now with the market getting flooded with cabs since they discontinued network support. So those have been kind of flooding, and they're cheap. They're lower end, but I'm picking them up also because I want to make sure I have spares for them in case I get cabs that have dead drives or dead PCBs or something like that. And it has happened once or twice, so originally that's why I'm picking up those in particular. I'm not going to flip through these, I think, at all or right away or whatever, but this is some bulk Lord of Vermilion cards. I don't know if they packaged everything together for this or not or what, but I've been starting to buy up bulk of these for the arcade in Texas that picked up a pair of Lord of Vermilions, and they want to be able to operate them, but the card boosters are really hard to get, so we're working on something where we can repackage some cards, or at least be able to have people buy singles and be able to at least play the game. So I've been starting to buy up whatever good bulk lots I can online. I didn't need them because I ended up buying some EX Versus 2 cabs anyway. But this is 4 move strips for Gundam EX Versus. Probably not going to get used again because I have actual cabs coming, but I had already bought them. They're cheap. They're maybe like 10, 15 bucks. Okay, so this something flat. Where did I put my scissors? Oh, where are they? There we go. So this looks like it's just a normal piece of cardboard, but it's got their label on it, so it's something I bought, something flat. This might actually be the topper portion of the art for the EX Versus. Or no. Okay, so this is Thundercross. This is a little cardboard standee thing. This is really old, but I have a Thundercross kit. It's a US kit. This is a Japanese standee, but I thought it was cool. It was pretty cheap. It was up for a while. Nobody was buying it. It was kind of cool. So if I have Thundercross out in one of my cabs with the arcade, I'll put this out, and it'll be a neat little addition to the look. So bear with me. I haven't had anything to drink all day. I am pretty thirsty. Okay, let's get in here. I guess let's get the big thing out of the way here, and I'll shove this box over real quick. So normally I would just have my distributor get these, but I was kind of curious how From Japan was going to pack it, so I got one through them as well. This is one of these SEGA stools, and I'm going to cut it open here. I bought this off Yahoo Japan. They end up costing about as much as the brand new Taito stools do once you go through with everything, and you know, obviously I don't think that, you know, it would have been cheaper for me to just get these with my distributor, but anyway, I wanted to try this, and I was kind of excited and in a hurry to get a blue stool or a couple blue stools. These are going to go into the guest room with my new to me, the blue mini cute that I got to fit with the room. Since the room is Chirno themed, as I mentioned in one of the last opening videos, you know, everything in it's got to be blue or, you know, blue and white themed. So I don't have any of the original crushed velvet blue stools yet, and I got this one. Now I have more coming on a future container, but you know, at least this to get one of them here now. They put tape, it looks like, around the foot stoppers here to protect it, but like the bottoms are already all worn out. I don't know if you can see that in the video, but the bottoms, these are all worn out. So I'll probably at some point find a good place to get some replacements for that, so that these are nice if they're on a hardwood surface, which some of the future ones will be. God, these scissors don't cut very well. So now one thing they mentioned was the auction, they are using like a stock photo. And this one isn't the one that was in the picture, but that everything should be in about the same condition. And this one looks pretty alright. So, you know, there's a little bit of a thing there in the end. Probably the upholstery would do very good to be replaced. And someday I may learn how to do that correctly, but not yet. The bottom here, the wood looks to be solid. Actually, yeah, I do this and a little bit of dust comes out, but so yeah, for the most part, there's very little rust on it and whatnot. It's kind of nice. So I've got, I think, 10 or so more of these coming, and they're mainly to supplement my own arcade needs. I haven't been listing any of these for sale because I have so many I'm gonna have so many cabs rather, that I need to have enough to do that before I start selling others. So there's some more Lord of a Million cards. And here I've got a pack of Pokemon cards. I'm actually going to open these. These, I don't remember if it was the stools or what, but it was in a, like I always check the seller's other items when I buy stuff just to see if there's anything interesting. And these happen to be in there. And these weren't that expensive. They were maybe $30. But it had there's a bunch of Koro cards in here that I remember from my childhood, you know, seeing them and thinking they were really cool. They came out of these peel sheet things, and I have some of them. I don't know where they are, but I actually still have some of the peeled sheets from when I was a kid. And so here's some of those cards. I think these are just regular gym cards, but particularly, let me see if we get to it. There was these. Actually, no, I think all of these might have been, but these were from the Koro set with this Pokeball icon here. And like some of the really well-known ones would be like this, the Imakuni, Lily Pad Mew, the original Lily Pad Mew, Surfing Pikachu, Flying Pikachu, and the Jinx, and also a lot of these cards, you know, I just saw them and I was like, hey, those were really reminiscent, so I picked up these as well. So set those down real quick there and get back into it. Okay, here we've got a Sanwa Denshi 2011 to 2012 manual. Actually, I'm going to check the camera and see where we're actually pointing this thing. I think we fell a little bit, so reposition that there. Yeah, it's a little bit better. Sorry if you guys missed anything. I don't have my tripod here at the moment, so kind of using a little bit of a jerry-rigged up thing. Okay, this is, it looks like more U-beat rubbers. I've been trying to include them with every cab that I ship out, especially if the buttons aren't really tested or aren't really sure that they're good. I think there's only one recently I sent out without them because it felt really good already. But just some more rubbers. I'll keep them in stock, make sure I have them when the next batch of caps come in so that they can be shipped out with. This is more Lord of Vermilion cards. I might come back at the end of the video and we'll kind of look through those in detail. Alright, inside this we've got another big box, so let's get that out. Make sure there isn't anything else in here, which, yep, there is. There's another. We've got a bundle here of unopened boosters from Lord of Vermilion that we were lucky enough to find. There's a Sleeping Umbreon, the Suya Suya Umbreon set. I gave one of them to a friend of mine, so I had to replace it. So this is my replacement. Make sure there isn't anything else small in there that I missed. Nope. So we'll get into this other box over here. Okay. So this one, it says Noir control panel on it, but I don't remember if I actually got a Noir control panel in this batch. And it looks like I did. So there's 2 Noir control panels in here, and I think that's it for the box. This box was definitely not packed super full, but it probably had to be done that way for its own reasons. So these are just 2 clean one-player control panels. I don't remember what I paid for them, but I think they ended up going for a pretty good price, so I picked them up for whenever I need to restore Noirs for myself, and I'm planning on putting together some nice ones. So there's that. And that's it for this box. So I'm gonna chuck this back into it. Push this as much, oh, it ain't gonna go, is it? As much out of the way as possible. And let's pull over this one. So this is something I've been looking forward to a long time. I was very sad that I missed out on, and we had a little bit of a fight over who was gonna end up getting it, and I paid quite a bit for it. Still not like above the amount that I was willing to put, but more than I would have wanted to. And I'm not sure if there's anything else in this box but it. But I wouldn't be surprised if it was just it. Okay. Bottom of this cut. And I'm gonna chuck this. Like, how about over here? Okay. We'll just start pulling stuff out. I'm not sure what this is. It's uniquely shaped. We will find out shortly. Looks like I got some posters. Ah, yes. I know what posters those are now. Those are actually pretty nice. I'm giving them to somebody, or rather I'm passing them on to somebody that I made a previous agreement with about it. And that's the third piece. And nothing else in the box. So stand that box up out of the way. And open. I'll come back to the posters because I'd like to have it kind of laid out so I don't have to bend them or anything like that. Now this says, let's see, Waremono, so it just says it's breakable. I don't know what it is, the odd shape. At least I don't, remember what it is. but it is breakable. And it is, well, that's interesting that they had it packed this way. It's another UB Festo header pop. So, like I'd mentioned before, I'm picking these up because I don't want to have cabs come in without them and then not be able to fulfill for a buyer, which is, I had to put one on one cab already, and I go out of my way to make sure that I get them because, again, I want the best for my cab buyers that I can possibly provide. And sometimes I just can't because I might be out of rubbers, or I don't happen to have EMU's card, so I can't give someone an EMU's card. So you got to buy it while you find it, not when you need it. So that, and then this third one here, we're going to open this up. And just like I said, we'll come back to the posters. And unfortunately, this will go right back into storage for the time being until the garage arcade is done. Let's get this sucker out. Did I cut it open enough? Not really. It's stuck on something. It is very stuck. I don't know why. I can't even push it back down. Ugh. My lord. Come on. Alright. I'll just cut it the rest of the way open. I was hoping to leave it in this box to protect it later, but I have to repackage it. Okay. There we go. It's just got tons of layers of cardboard in there to protect it. So this is the MUSECA standee. Looks like there's even cardboard in between it, or is that, oh, that's the standee part. Okay, so there's actually quite a lot more art on this than I expected. I can't get this, why will this not open? It's super stuck together. What the heck? I'm so confused by this. This thing is supposed to be meant to open up, but it's just stuck together. I don't feel like it's supposed to be peeled or anything, but it won't open. Well, anyway, I guess we'll come back to it and we'll look at it. Look over it or something like that, but there's the bottom and the top. So I guess I'll have to come back to this with the poster frame. Or with the posters, I'm sorry. Okay, move the box for it out of the way. And I'm going to move over this last box, which also has a large and interesting thing that I probably paid too much for. Cut it open. Also, for reference, the shipping on all of this was around $1,000. So that is still pretty high. And you know, you gotta make sure that you get a return on things like this when you spend such a large amount. So first up, it's 2 more sets of Gunslinger Stratos guns. I should probably stop buying them. I've got so many of them now. But they are still affordable to get, so I'm getting them. Let's see here. This is the other Type X3, I believe, another theater rhythm. Check that over here. We've got one of the Suya Espions. So same thing. I gave mine to a friend, and that's him. my replacement. And that should, I think, be the last 3 things, except for this. I'll kick this box out of the way first. This is a Taiko 14 header, complete with all the pops. It looks like they padded both sides with some thick foam, and you know, it's still secure in there because it's just one big piece of plexi in the back and all of this nice pop art here in the front. But I picked this up, and again, this I probably should have gotten through my distributor. I picked this up in case I get a Taiko HD or a Taiko cab that is not a 14, and now that I can easily upgrade those cabs, I wanted to have the header art so that I could make a cab complete if I wanted to. Now, these are, you know, this is somewhat sun faded, but it's actually, I think, not as bad as I've seen on some. But anyway, that's why I picked that up, and, you know, until then it is a kind of a neat item there. So, anyway, let's look over this stuff real quick, and then I'll take a quick break, and we'll try to get this thing stood up, as well as open up those posters. I'm going to clear all these boxes out of the way. Maybe we'll take a look at everything again. So we will be right back. Alright, I'm back, and I managed to get this stood up. It was just the sticky residue from the back was stuck in the wrong spot because it had been folded back down, so I got it all stood up now. And there is the Illill standee from MUSECA. Looks really good. It's definitely a little bit worn. I can tell it's a little bit sun faded, but all in all, for something that had been out in an arcade, really pretty decent shape. So there's that. Over here, I decided I'm not going to just open all the Lord of a Million cards and lay them out, otherwise it's just going to become a giant mess. But you can kind of see it's just a bunch of bulk. So, you know, hopefully I'll be getting several more packs of this in the future to supplement, you know, both my collection and to throw some stuff at the arcade so they have something to use. And then the last thing, I'm going to grab my light over here, and we're going to come take a look at these posters. These, it's a DDR 3rd and 4th mix, I believe. We got these pretty cheap, and the reason they went cheap is they have this really big tear in the bottom of them on both, which, you know, it really sucks, but if you put this behind a frame, they actually look pretty good. And like DDR posters, they've been going pretty crazy lately, so, you know, whatever we can get is always good. And I'm happy to get these, and I'm passing them on again to a friend who also was interested in them when I was bidding on them. And I just told him, you know, if it went under a certain price, that I would just give it to him instead. And it did, so I am. So there's the 3rd mix. I'm going to let this curl up. And underneath it is 4th mix. So once these get behind a frame, like this tear damage it's negligible. You'll barely notice it. The frame really does a lot to draw out the better parts of the poster, make it look a little bit better. So, at any rate, that was it for this opening. It may be a while before I get another one up, but this was at least a very interesting and exciting one. I hope you enjoyed watching it as much as I enjoyed opening it all. We will see you next time in the next video.